I'm Eric Russell. I am out and about with Ramon Licairac, here today in Richmond, Virginia. How are you doing tonight?
Doing very well tonight.
Did I get your name right? Did I get close?
It was actually really close. It was really close.
I kept trying.
Most people can't do it.
When you did it, I was like, that's really cool. I'm not even going to attempt that. So, you've been here in Richmond 10 months.
I have.
And you've done a whole lot of great things here. But what I want to start with is, how did you get involved in doing music and theater and all that fun stuff?
Well, the classic tale is I've been singing since I was 5.
Okay.
That's, what most people say. But the quick version of everything is I wanted to do music since high school, even before then. And in high school I was in a boy band. So, which is great because somebody actually made a comment about that when I did my own solo shows. Like, you should be in a boy band. Actually, I was. That didn't work out because I believe I was more serious than they were.
Okay.
After that, I took 3 years off because I could not go to a normal university.
Right.
I found the University of the Arts.
Right.
In Philly. And I did 4 years there. Did my majored in vocal performance, minored in music education and musical theater. And the education part was more so I can learn to communicate with other musicians.
Okay.
Be able to learn their instrument and appreciate it. That way, rehearsals will only take,
Because even though it's music, we don't speak the same
Exactly.
language because you're going, I don't know what that is.
Exactly. With the thing and the ding-ding,
right.
You actually have to speak the lingo.
Yeah.
And that was actually quite wonderful. And from there, I was doing a lot of semi-professional and non-professional shows, just getting my name out there, learning the business, learning how to work with different types of people. Also, by doing that, UArts made me see that the dream, if you will, is a lot closer than what you think, and how everybody knows each other. Oh, yeah. It's a very, very small world. And then last year really was the biggest thing I've done. I was at now it's called Opera Philadelphia.
Right.
In Philly. I was in a couple of productions there as a supernumerary, which is, as I like to call it, a walking prop.
Okay.
You have your lead singers, your chorus, and then the supers.
You were the tree.
Exactly. I was the tree, if you will. But I was the tree that did tricks.
Okay.
So, after the first year, the next few productions I did, I was actually recommended for it.
That's so cool.
So they contacted me, which was wonderful. When somebody says, okay, you want a guy to be able to do this, this, and that, call Ramon.
Because I was looking that up because I was not familiar with a couple of the operas.
Oh, yes.
And I looked up the Abduction from
the Seraglio.
Seraglio, because I'm going, okay. And I went, it's a Mozart piece.
Yes.
And I was like...
And it's in German.
And in German, I went, that's really cool. But the dialogue is in English. Well, I thought I was reading one production, they did dialogue in English, but they sang everything in German.
Yeah, our production was actually all in German.
Cool. And it didn't say who you played, but I was kind of like,
exactly.
Talk about that show, because it just sounded... Because we know Silent Night, we know La Boheme, but this one just sounded a little different and kind of fun.
Yeah, it was really cool. Now, if I can remember, because it was some time ago. It's basically this aviator, I believe. Okay. He goes to the Seraglio, which is I think Middle East.
Okay. Because talk about a pasha and all that.
Yes, and it's just basically trying to rescue this. The protagonist from
Damsel in Distress.
Exactly.
Damsel in Distress. There we go.
So that's really the gist, and then there's other characters that are falling in love, and I was able to play one of the servants that gets to move this giant staircase.
Okay.
While the what is it called? The king. I forgot what the actual name of the king is and the type. But I got to move him around while he was being crazy and fun and rope him in, because he's like getting out of hand. So I got to be part of comedic roles.
Okay, fun.
So it was wonderful. Plus, I got to, just the fact that I was on stage with these amazing performers, and a lot of people, perhaps think that opera singers are stuffy and sometimes rude.
Right.
I've been blessed that I have not experienced that.
Because opera really is fun.
People
is. They just think it's very boring. Like, no, that's amazing.
It's actually it's the concert, the concert version of the time.
Yeah.
One really cool thing is the previews when you have the kids there, because they just want to clap and scream and shout, and it literally sounds like a concert.
That's
Whereas
amazing.
the other shows, they're appreciative, but everybody's like,
You get that clap,
yeah.
like, okay.
It's like, oh, it's wonderful. But it's just an incredible feeling just watching these people perform. And then after that, because I was able to do physical comedy,
right.
I was able to do La Boheme, which was, what most people know, Rent is based off La Boheme, and they were so appreciative.
Yeah.
Because, it was like, jump, and I would be like, how high? And a lot of these, and
it's a lot of physical comedy.
A lot of physical comedy. This one in particular, I was the waiter, and I'm like, sure, I'll be the waiter. Second act, I'm literally moving around the entire time, spinning and jumping and doing toe touches, and while the leads are singing, and it's like they always joked around. It's like, hey, Ramon, you ready for your act? It's like I was stealing the scene, supposedly.
And Ramon.
Yeah, exactly. So, but in Silent Night, it actually just recently, it's a very new opera.
Yeah.
It won the 2012 Pulitzer Prize.
Excellent.
And it's based on the whole, I believe is World War. Okay, I don't want to say which one. It's when there was a treaty between Germany, the German soldiers, the Scottish soldiers, and the French soldiers.
It's the truce for Christmas.
For Christmas.
Which has been World War.
I want to say
one of the World Wars.
Well, yes.
If you know the answer, post it, and we will give you thumbs up.
Sorry.
So there we go. There's a little quiz homework for you.
Sorry for not remembering what it is, but the music was incredible. It almost felt like you were in a movie. Which a lot of people appreciate, because sometimes those individuals who don't appreciate operas, it was really well received.
Yeah, because when you go to opera, you go to any show now, it's very interactive and cinematic. You've got rolling set pieces, you've got rear projection. I just saw War Horse, and there's this scrolling movie of sketches above it, and things going, this is phenomenal, and it's theater.
It is, and it's just incredible. And the fact that I was able to share the stage with these incredible people, it was amazing. And the biggest thing that I took that actually my jaw dropped, starting with the adaptation from the Seraglio, is the fact that you have, the music is in German.
Right.
You have a Brazilian director.
Okay.
Who's communicating to a Spanish opera singer. I believe the other singer was Austrian.
Okay.
So, I mean, just the fact that all these people could communicate, and just the direction being given. For La Boheme, I mean, the director, I believe he's like basically straight from the boat. From Italy. And he was just able to express himself in such a physical way. Oh, an amazing singer, by the way.
Okay, cool.
Because at one point he took a small role because one of the individuals wasn't able to come in and do it. Honestly, I would have seen him play every part. He could have been Mimi if he wanted to. It was just amazing, because when he couldn't communicate, or he was going so fast that the translator
just couldn't keep up.
Yeah, kind of just let him be. I could pick up everything he wanted just from his physicality.
You're like, got it, do it from that part. Yep.
So that's really what I took of it. From communication.
Yes.
That, in short, communication. The fact that all these people were able to come together and communicate and produce something so amazing.
That is. So. That's the joy of live theater. Because all these people working together, and you're going, that was amazing.
Yeah. I'm just blessed to have been part of it.
So I saw you did 6 years. Now I truly tried to find out who Piero Nero was. I know the Philly Pops, but I did not know Peter Nero. And you were with them for 6 seasons?
Yes, for 6 seasons. Peter Nero has been around. I mean, you could probably find some videos of him, old school videos.
Okay.
An incredible pianist. Incredible. I mean, the man is much older. He's unfortunately not with the Pops anymore since last year. This year was the first year that he wasn't. And basically I started that through school. Through the University of the Arts.
So the arts, you were singing chorus with the Philly Pops?
Exactly. Because the the vocal director
Uh-huh.
was actually the head of the vocal department
Okay.
at UArts, and also my professor. And obviously, we already went through the ringer, auditioning. And he's
Right.
like, "We know you can sing." So he just opened it up to the University of the Arts, and I mean, we are from 150 to 200
Wow.
voice chorus.
Nice.
And we have, I believe, 7 rehearsals.
Okay.
They're 3 hours each. And a few of the songs were actually were arranged by Jeff Kern, who
Okay.
is the vocal director.
Okay.
And honestly, it was just a fantastic experience. It was a shared event where you have Peter Nero and the Philly Pops. Everybody
Right.
knows them there.
Right.
And they play the various Christmas songs as well as a Hanukkah medley.
Okay.
And then we sing with them. So it just goes back and forth. Also, they would have special guests
Okay.
from Broadway and whatnot. They would also do a contest for high school.
Okay.
I believe middle school and high school, and the winners, they got to actually perform on stage. So it's quite a big event, and just being in our tuxes and
It's fun to get dressed up and sing.
exactly.
Like, yes.
And the best part for me was the fact that let's just put it this way: if we're the ones singing, we're the choir.
Yeah.
Here's Peter Nero and the Philly Pops.
Oh, how cool. You're like, they're right there.
Exactly. So when we would be sitting, there's a free concert for us.
Got a concert.
And
Oh yeah, we gotta sing.
it was amazing. One of my favorite things was when he would do White Christmas.
Oh, nice.
Because a big part of it
Mm-hmm.
was improvisation.
Oh, cool.
And he would just start it off, and you didn't know where he was going, and then all of a sudden,
There
White
it was.
Christmas.
Oh.
And he would also put a couple of things, for example, the Hanukkah medley, he would put little things that perhaps musicians would figure it out, just
Right.
like other tunes, almost like
Like a little mashup.
yeah,
and
yeah,
you're
like
I know
exactly. Like when you would be scatting, you would be putting something that Ella Fitzgerald would put.
Right.
He would do that in the piano.
Oh.
So it was
This. How fun.
yeah, and it taught me a lot about blending. Also, my legit musical theater / operatic voice and
Right.
tone, and I mean, Jeff Kern, he's not somebody you mess with. I mean, he loves you, but he will win.
You will win.
He will win, and he
It's
will get
my name on the arrangement.
Yes.
We're
So,
doing what's
yeah.
written.
And I was blessed to have that because it just people from different worlds, people who are professional singers,
Right.
people who just are doing this as a hobby,
Right.
Everybody coming together for one specific goal. It was
So you guys did how many concerts? You did like a holiday concert. Would you do a spring concert also?
No,
Or is it just?
this is where it started. Actually, this year, actually they have made it throughout the entire season.
Okay.
Where there's they're involved, but for this it was just Peter Nero and the Philly Pops.
Okay.
For just the Pops Festival chorus, and we would do around 11 to 15 shows.
Okay.
So yeah, it really
That's a nice run. That's a great.
It's a great run. You
Yeah.
know? I mean 7 rehearsals and just go.
And to go.
And I mean the instrumentalists. I believe they only had 2 rehearsals. But that's what they get paid the big bucks.
That's they're getting the paycheck. So
Exactly.
they're going, I will learn this in the car before I get to the show.
Exactly.
So you've done some of my favorite shows. You've done Hairspray, Altar Boys, West Side Story, The Music Man. I mean, from these characters, who was your absolute favorite? What was the role you got that you were like, I got it.
That is so tough.
Yeah, I know, because
That
you get different ones for different shows.
Exactly, for different reasons.
But there's always that one that you got, you're like, oh yeah.
All right. Well, I would say Juan.
Okay.
From Altar Boys.
All right.
Because when I saw it off Broadway,
Right.
I mean, because that was at the actual run,
Right,
it was
yeah,
off
yeah.
Broadway. It was amazing because
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know anything about it. I was just walking around with my best friend, and we were trying to figure out what to do. And those people that kind of let you know about shows on the
Yeah.
street. That's how I found out. I went to see this, didn't know what it was going to be. They sold it as, if you like NSYNC, go see it. If you don't like NSYNC,
That's exactly how I was like, you know what? I'll give it a shot.
Exactly.
Why not, boy? Yeah, okay.
And when I saw that, I'm like, oh my god, I need to be in this. And I believe 3 years later,
Okay.
this came up at Pittman, New Jersey,
Okay.
the Broadway Pittman Theater. And they actually came to see me. They saw me at West Side Story
Okay.
playing Bernardo, and they liked what they saw. Which is ironic because I didn't actually. It's surprisingly how much Bernardo doesn't sing.
Yeah, he doesn't really do
He
it.
really doesn't at all. So it was all for my acting and my dancing, and I guess mostly for my acting.
And they're like, we want him.
Yeah, so I went in there, and you. It's funny when you go into an audition because you don't look at everybody. You just look at everybody that looks like you.
Right.
So I was blessed that they gave me that.
That's amazing.
The weirdest one that I was surprised that I got was Link Larkin.
I saw
in
that.
Hairspray.
I was thinking, that's really cool though, because that's an interesting character.
It is.
He's like, I'm the host of.
And oh no! Well, that was corny. Which
that's corny.
Actually,
that's corny.
I put down corny,
right,
Link, and seaweed, because I almost didn't audition because I'm like, I'm neither black or nor white, but from that taught me a lesson. Don't ever be the one to cut cut yourself.
because you don't know what
because you never know,
and you're like.
And honestly, my look does change. So now I have the ongoing joke that I am racially ambiguous. Because as you can see, I was in, let me see. Okay, it's not there, but in Showboat, I was Gaylord Bravenel.
Oh yeah.
Oh, there it is. I just saw that. Which he kind of has to be white. Yeah, I mean, that's the whole
Showboat.
premise.
It's like
that's the whole
it's a
premise.
very white show.
I mean, that's why he gets on the boat because. One of the performers gets kicked off because she has an ounce of Negro blood.
Yeah,
so,
and it's like, oh, can't have that.
But it worked, and it was great because I got to sing legit. I mean, my voice was just loving that, and very operatic. So, honestly, all of my roles, I learned something from them, and I enjoyed the heck out of them. So.
And then you've gone on, and you've done some stuff with Moonmax Productions, which would be here at Richmond and King's Dominion.
Yes.
Which would have been the shows Edge of Darkness, Got Country, and Pop Fusion.
Yes.
And these were like packaged shows, but they're fully costumed, the whole thing.
Exactly. For example, okay, so the summer was Pop and Country.
Right.
Got Country was actually there. Pop Fusion, we were the original cast.
Okay.
And they come from Moonmax Productions at King's Dominion.
Right.
And a lot of these shows, they're from Cedar Point.
They're...
So, they all do it in their own particular way.
Right.
The funny story about Pop Fusion, though, was the fact that we kind of put the show together in 3 days.
Okay.
Because we did not receive the music. It was a new show, but we had the instrumental, but we didn't have
everything else.
What was supposed to happen. So we actually took it upon ourselves. And we
staged it and all that.
We arranged it in our own way, and it actually turned out great.
There you go.
Because later on, we found out that places where we had a verse and a chorus, it was 2 choruses. It was like that doesn't work.
No.
So it was great because I got to be a rock star, at Pop, and share the torch with my fellow performers. I mean, when you saw Pop, you're like, that's why you were hired, everybody, because it was just wonderful for everybody.
Yeah.
And then Got Country, I was surprised. Because I'm like, all right,
country.
I'm country, and if you saw our cast, we were a very diverse cast.
I was looking through the pictures, going, no, that's it's
extremely diverse,
but it's country.
But we honestly rocked the hell out of that. Just we went for it. We had some incredible performers, and everybody got an equal amount of time on stage. And again, it was ensemble work, so we were there for each other.
Because when you've done stuff like opera and pop music, anytime you're given country, you
kind
of have this moment like, we're doing country.
It's like, how do you,
how? And then,
exactly.
And then once you've done it, you're going, oh, this is our favorite thing.
Exactly.
You get into it and you're like, oh, yeah.
Exactly. And some of us, actually, we were surprised how we had country voices.
Oh, yeah.
So it was a lot of work, a lot of singing and dancing. We only get 2 weeks. You get 7 days for one, and then 7 days for the other, and then you do all these shows. I mean, I can't count of those shows. I personally did 473 shows, performances in 110 days. I got kind of hurt for a week and a half, so I missed 32 shows.
Because that's a lot of performance.
It is.
You guys come in, you do the thing. Because I remember having worked at King's Dominion, we'd look at those folks going, how come they only do like two shows? Then you realize that's why they do. And they're working hard. Yeah. There's 2 shows, and that's a lot of work.
Well, this year we did 5 to 6 shows a day.
Wow.
6 days a week.
And you would just rotate. You do one show for 2 weeks, and then you rotate.
It's
country, then pop fusion, then into.
It's actually It was 3 shows of pop. Of country in like from 1 p.m. through around 4.
Okay.
And then you switch, you have a break,
Right.
and you go to the other stage and you do pop fusion.
And then you run back and do it.
And the next day. So you just keep going 6 days a week. You get 1 day off.
Yeah.
It's set. It's a dark day, so that means that neither show is on
Right.
for that day. So I mean, it was tough, but honestly, I'm extremely appreciative because I became, in my personal opinion, an incredible performer. Because I mean, we were performing in jeans and cowboy hats and long t-shirts and long
But you're
shirts
doing
in
two full shows.
in 114 degree weather
And smiling all the way.
And smiling all the way. Sometimes you didn't have an audience, sometimes you did, but you still got to do what you got to do.
Exactly.
So I personally love that. And then Edge of Darkness, switch it up. Let's rock and roll.
Right.
I got to do tricks, magic tricks.
I saw that. I was going, what magic tricks did you learn? Or did you already know?
No, okay. I learned everything.
Okay.
Okay, so the only thing I quote-unquote didn't learn was the juggling. The juggling I learned last year. I was at Busch Gardens, and between shows, we had acrobats, so we were learning. But I got to learn the interlude, which is where the girl goes through your body.
Okay.
And it was kind of like it had to do with the fact that I would be the only one skinny enough to do the trick. Plus, the theme was that I was kind of
spoiler.
I mean, it's just and also they kind of wanted to keep the theme going where it was good and evil.
Okay.
And I was kind of like the ringmaster to some extent.
Okay.
And then the scary guy in the face, he's the leader of the show, and
right.
but he's also a demon.
Okay.
It's the circus of the undead.
Okay.
I also got to learn the box trick, which right now the actual name is failing me, but it's where you go inside the box, and then you got the beautiful girl on top of the box,
okay.
and then you get the curtain, and we do a switch,
okay,
and she ends up inside the
box.
So which
is a great trick.
Which is wonderful.
Yeah.
I mean, we're not magicians, but with rock and roll and dancing and.
The next show comes up, we see you can do the box trick. You're hired.
Exactly. No, seriously. So I learned to do that. I got to do the juggling professionally, which it was. So what are we gonna do with this number? And they asked me and this other performer, and we're like, yeah, we can do that, and we did it, and it was great. It's like, all right, let's put the lead singer singing on top of the box. You guys juggle. We're set. And I got to dance so much.
Yeah.
So much, and loved it because a lot of people. It was. I believe, what is it, six singers, one dancer, something like that.
Yeah.
But you couldn't tell whose track it was.
Oh,
it was everybody looked like singers, everybody looked like dancers, and it was just a back and forth. It's just incredible. Just had a great time. And
it's a great feeling too because it's a different type of theater.
It is.
And a different type of audience, but you still get that rush. You're like, yes.
Exactly. And I mean, it's a 30-minute show that you do 3 or 4 times.
Right.
And people didn't. It didn't. For me, it didn't actually feel like 30 minutes because it was just go. It just go. And one of my favorite parts was actually that we were trying to reach out to the Hispanic audience,
right?
And we had we were very fortunate during the summer where I got to sing Gasolina like Daddy Yankee in the pop show because people were like, what is happening right now?
They're like, but why is that white boy singing
like,
in Spanish? I don't understand.
So it was just amazing because people were taken back, and it's one of those things that can go either way.
Right.
Like you take it seriously and you own it, and it's great. Otherwise, it's going to look like you're mocking the thing.
Exactly.
So then there was an idea passed along, and it was like, hey, why don't we put in a song? And we ended up finding a rock and roll song by a Mexican rock band, and it became something amazing. People didn't know what I was saying, but just through the theatrics, they knew like the passion. I mean, to the point of crying. It was like
they got the story, they got the whole thing. Like
it was incredible, and plus it was so rock and roll, and wonderful. So I can't complain. I've had wonderful.
So then you got to do the amazing work here in Richmond with Richmond Triangle Players, one of my favorite theater companies, near and dear to me. And you played Luis. And it's a fabulous life, and you guys were amazing.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Of all the holiday shows they've done over the years and stuff, I was like, this is now my favorite. I just enjoyed it so much.
We have been pleasantly surprised.
Because everything you guys sold out, like bam, which is great.
And I mean, even the extension. I mean, we're sold out. We were supposed to close on Saturday, this past Saturday.
And you got extended
to now Friday, Saturday of this week, and we are all in shock, but in the most pleasant manner that we never knew this would happen.
So let's talk about Luis real quick.
Okay.
Give people some background because they may not be familiar with It's a Fabulous Life.
Yes.
Which is a really great parody and look at It's a Wonderful Life. Someone earns their wings and the color is lavender. But talk about Luis.
Okay, so Luis is Joe's boyfriend.
Okay.
Joe is the writer within the show, writing the show within the show. Luis, you don't get to see him too much, but he's the person that knows Joe the best. Mm-hmm. Also because Joe was the one that helped him come out of the closet.
Correct.
I would assume he was afraid, especially in a Hispanic community.
Right.
And the fact that his parents have basically disowned him, just knowing that he's gay, and he's the one that tries to keep Joe sane, but it gets to a point that it just he can't take it anymore. The fact that Joe doesn't realize that it's not just about him.
Right.
It's about both of them, at least in that particular moment.
That dynamic, because there's a couple and they're trying to get through this and
exactly the struggle, the fact that Luis is trying to be the best boyfriend ever and see the bright side of things.
Right.
And and see that there is a way to be happy, but Joe kind of just
he's gonna hit that wall.
Yeah, he's just keep hitting it, and it gets to the point that Luis goes like, "Don't you realize that I'm basically putting on a happy face? Like, I know how tough it is, especially in the holidays.
Yeah.
It's tough being gay. It's tough being out in a world where even your own parents have disowned you.
Exactly.
So, do you think that I really want to be around your parents too, who are having a difficult time?
Yes.
Understanding that this is the lifestyle you have chosen, not chosen, but
right.
chosen to live, because it's not a choice, which is something that Joe at the end realizes in the show, where it's not a choice, both in being gay and also in changing his life, because if he were to change that, he would change everything else
that people he interacted with and all of that.
Yeah, so I really enjoy Luis. I'm kind of the character that when the laughter is there, I gotta bring it down to reality.
Right.
With the two songs that I end up singing, the duet with Joe, Know Us in Christmas,
right,
which is actually Dasher and Randolph in the show. They're singing to each other, but it's really Luis and Joe
singing together.
Singing, especially with the fact that they just had a fight about that.
Which makes it even better, because we're actually having a fight right now during the song.
Exactly. So, and there's no us in Christmas, so it just really leads you to the fact that it's like, when is going to be time for us? Mm-hmm. And then in the second act, when he's finding out, who he has affected, Luis hasn't come out. And he's prowling in the alleys, and he happens to run into him, and he starts realizing through his song "How Could I Love You" that he has basically fallen in love with Joe, or with somebody who has opened his eyes that he doesn't just have sex with men, he has relations, because it's that it's like, I have relations with women, but I have sex with men, so that doesn't make me gay. But I think just looking into his eyes and
he makes that big transition.
Exactly.
This is someone I am in love with.
Yes.
I want to spend all my time with.
Exactly.
I will be in his show because that's what a good boyfriend does.
Yeah.
I will say it's okay and smile and do all
all that. But I mean, in this time in the show, he hasn't even met him, but somehow there's a connection. So he doesn't even know who he is. But he's just the one that opens his eyes and goes, "Wait, I am gay. Oh my God, what is happening with me?" So, I like it, because I bring the serious to the show. Everybody else can laugh it up.
Everyone's having a great time. Is like, he's the serious one.
But we have a good time, and a lot of people have said that in the small amount of time that Joe and I spent, we actually have chemistry. Like,
it's
you
amazing.
can see it right off the bat that we've been together forever.
Yeah, you and Chris Hester, the chemistry was amazing.
Thank you.
It's an incredibly talented cast to begin with, but it's all those extra things which just make it even more special.
It really does. I mean, I enjoy the entire cast, and everybody has a character that you either will love or hate, but either way, everybody brings their own.
Exactly.
So, it's quite dynamic.
Then you just did your own one-man show.
Yes.
And you even did some original songs?
I did, actually. Not even. It was all original songs, except for 3 of them.
Okay.
And that's always tough when you're an unknown.
But we know you here in Richmond, so we were all like, let's go see Ramon.
Let's go
we
see
liked
him
him in this show.
Exactly.
Let's go see him.
But I was pleasantly surprised how everyone was pleasantly surprised. I keep using that, but it's,
you're never quite sure.
You're never quite sure.
Is it that clap of, oh,
exactly?
We can't leave, can we?
Exactly. But people were really taken back at my songwriting. I actually had a friend who was a cast member at King's Dominion with me, and she went, supported, and she just wanted to be supportive. But she's done the original thing, gone to shows that are like that, and been like, oh man. I looked at her, and she was crying in a couple of songs. It really touched her, and the way I feel about her, she told me how I think she rocks. Like she's like, the way you feel about me in that, I think you are like that in songwriting. Which is, I take it as a big compliment. Because,
what were some of the songs that you wrote?
Okay, so some of the songs I wrote, there was one called At the Wake of Repentance.
Okay.
And that song has to do with the fact that you've made a mistake, and if you were to take a moment to step back and realize your mistake, will there be a light? That a saving light that takes you from here to there to just living life in a better way. It's sort of up to interpretation at the end. I don't specifically say what has occurred.
Okay.
But at the end of the song, you hear the title, "Do second chances arrive at the end of at the wake of repentance."
Okay.
So the moment that you regret or are sorry, are you able to move on with life? Are you able to pick things up no matter what happened?
Where did that song come from? When you wrote it?
Well, I wrote that song on a bus, and I don't know what it is, what it was exactly that brought me to it, but I know that the first line kept coming to me.
Which was?
Where is the light?
Okay.
Let me sing. Where is the light? When will my eyes adjust to the darkness? So right there, just from the very beginning, I think it just describes where you are. It's like, oh my God, I'm in this dark place where, how am I gonna get out? You have, with anything, money matters, or you messed up in a relationship, or you did something horrific, or you drink too much, and you're at that place where you're in the fetal position, and you're just like, oh my God, where do I go from here? Yeah. So that just kept coming to me, and I kind of just went with it, just trying to put myself, I guess, in a dark place. I wasn't really in a dark place, but I try to put myself through there. I'm like, wow, that's amazing. Another song that really resonated with people was called "Tonight." If I could, I would. Okay. And that song had to do with the fact that in a past relationship, but also past relationships, I've known the right thing to do, and it's at the tip of my tongue. Right. But I don't say it. And it's a suffocating feeling where you're literally seeing the person that you love crying, just devastated, and just in this place where just saying I'm sorry, or saying I understand, or just saying words, something, touching them, will make the situation be better, and not being able to. And that one, I really took it from experience. Okay. That one, I put myself in my place, but also in the person's point of view, the other person's point of view, and the fact that I would be basically just staring into space, and and I know what I want to say, but I'm not saying it. I know the right words. I know them, but I'm not saying them. And here she is, just almost, just banging into my chest. Just, whether it was literally or like an analogy. But here I am. And then in the chorus, is if I could,
right,
these are the things that I would say.
Okay.
You know, my world's collapsing too. I wish I could break on through to you. You know, you mean everything to me. If I could, I would. And then the bridge takes it to the point that she's picking up her bags, she's ready to go, and she's like, tell me that you love me right now. Tell me. And he finally, you know, he takes a moment, he breathes, he caresses her and kisses her, and then finally says, you know, tonight my world is collapsing too. It's like it finally breaks. So at least you finish in a point that, all right, there's a breakthrough. You know, you're not completely like, oh my god, I want to cut my wrist and whatnot. But that's one of the songs that people were there because they were crying. You know, and it's like I'm like, whoa. And it's actually one of the longer songs. Okay. And it's funny because I prefaced that, but when they finished, they were like,
didn't seem that long.
But I mean, it's a 6-minute song.
It's a long song.
That's a long song, but the way I did it, they were like, oh my god, it didn't feel that long. It felt like just everything that needed to be there. So that was wonderful. And then another one that was great was called Listen Girl.
Okay.
And it's one of those songs where you're kind of just ticked off and you just want to tell the person off because they misconstrued what you were saying or what you were meaning
to say.
And basically that came from seeing an old girlfriend at a wedding and not wanting to see her because of lack of maturity and just past experiences. But then you realize, okay, maybe this person has changed. And then later on you find out that they haven't.
No.
So I wrote a song and it has to do with, it's like, hey, you know, I see you, I like your smile, you know, you kind of are changing my mind tonight. And it's like, whoa, wait a minute.
They're still crazy.
Don't get confused. I'm going to tell you the truth. I'm not trying to, you know, hit on you tonight. So get over yourself and get over yourself. That line is literally repeated as the chorus. And they were cracking up, but it resonated with them because
we've all been there.
You've been there. It's, as they said, cleverly done because it just sticks with you. Yeah. You can't get it out of your head. And it also has this kind of like attitude, Michael Jackson feeling to it. So that, you know,
a little moonwalk in there somewhere.
I didn't do it, but
it is. I was like, I want to moonwalk right now. Right now, I want to do it.
I mean, it's definitely different when you do it live as a solo artist without background singers, but recorded, it will be like every time you repeat the line, you just are adding more harmonies and, you know, and more special effects.
So there's a whole album coming soon.
I wouldn't say soon.
Okay.
Because unfortunately, you just never know, you know, copyright and production and all those things that need to go through it. But hopefully in the next year.
Okay.
Because I've had, all right, an EP's coming out, and then unfortunately it's not good enough.
Okay.
And you got it. So for now, what I will be doing is as much performing as possible.
A lot more cabarets and things.
You know, more, you know, little concerts, club type things. So, and hopefully I will start doing videos, just live or you know, music videos so people can see it.
You got the YouTube, the Vine, all that.
All those things, all those wonderful things.
If people want to find out more about Ramon,
okay.
Where do they go? How do they do it?
Go to facebook.com/Ramon Music A. So that's Ramon Musica, but Ramon Music A, RAMON MUSICA. So
he can spell.
I think I spelled that correctly. So check that out. You will actually see things from my Ramon Licairac, which is what I like to call myself as a singer, dancer, actor. But you will also see things from Ramon, which is my solo artist. That's my name as a solo artist. So
just got the Facebook. No Twitter, no Instagram, anything like that?
No Twitter. The YouTube thing, I'm trying to clean it up so that way you only get the very best. So
there's no like, oops, I didn't mean to post that video.
It's you know, nothing bad. I mean, if you want to go to YouTube, check me out, Ramon Licairac. You can find that out. I think it comes up as Ramon Bad Boy because for some reason you can't change that after you put that in.
Once the things are done, it's set.
Exactly. There you will actually find the 3 shows that I did over spring, summer, fall for Moonmax Productions at King's Dominion, which is the Pop Fusion, Got Country, and Edge of Darkness. You will also see things from my solo momentary shows, and as well as some things from my University of the Arts career. Which, if you're interested, take a look. You'll see my growth in the different types, but definitely check out the Facebook page, because that one you will get more current things. And I believe you can also find some things from Reverb Nation that I've put out there. I believe it's 2 songs right now, because I only want the very best. But you can find The Wake of Repentance and Listen Girl Live.
When you're done here in Richmond, where do you head next?
Next is I'm going to go back to New Jersey, because that's where I'm from. And the plan is, as of right now, the next 3 months is working on myself. As a solo artist, as an actor, performer, dancer, everything that has to do with that, me. Physically, vocally, learning tricks, learning how to dance better, learning how to take choreography better, check out my vocal cords, because I've been singing for 10 months, and I'm amazed how wonderful I've been doing. So I want to be able to just grow. So that's what I'm doing the next 3 months, growth. And then from there, only God knows.
Cool.
So
any shows that you think you may want to do that are coming up? You're going, ooh, there's one coming up I really want to do.
Oh man, not at the moment. No, not at the moment.
But you never know. It's like
you never know.
You never know.
You never know. And that's
Is there a part that you've always wanted to do that you haven't done yet?
As of right now, no, because I got to do.
You've got to do
Bernardo and Juan.
Okay.
But as my skill grows, I will want better things. So we'll see from there. Right now I kind of just take everything as it comes.
All right.
And I take every experience as something wonderful. Like Fabulous Life. I've gotten to do a lot of firsts with that, and I'm loving it.
Which were what? What were some of the firsts?
Some of the firsts, doing kissing a guy on stage. Okay. And off stage. Just in case. Off and off stage. Never have kissed the guy. And I always knew that I would be able to do that as an actor, because it's a profession. But it's been wonderful. It's just another acting technique.
Guys been kissing women for years on stage going, it's nothing. So there you go.
So that's been quite wonderful. I was able to be dance captain, because I've never been dance captain. I've been vocal captain. Okay. So kind of switching gears on how to speak to people. Yeah. Instead of counting to 4, I count to 8. Okay. 1, 2, 3. 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah. And really being very open with myself, because if you remember the show, there's
a lot of
there's really little clothing.
There's like this whole thing with stocking caps.
Yeah,
yeah,
because I used to be the kid in high school that wouldn't even change his clothes in the locker room.
But he's Ramon Bad Boy in the show.
And also the wonderful experience with the cast and the production. They're a family.
Excellent.
And
Richmond Triangle Players is amazing. Hopefully you'll come back down and do another show with them at some point.
Yeah, exactly. So you never know. I didn't know my path was going to take me there at all.
Or come back and do another solo show.
So I'm definitely taking 2013 and taking everything I learned, and 2014
the year of Ramon.
Yeah. So
this has been amazing.
Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
I'm Eric Russell. I have been out about with Ramon Licairac. Did I get that right?
Yeah, that's pretty close.
Okay, I'm trying.
It's Ramon Licairac.
There we go.
So there you go.
You never know where I'll turn up next, so tune in next time. See ya.